Hello and good evening and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World. I'm your host, Marie Kate. The Czech Republic held its parliamentary elections on October 3rd and 4th, and the people chose the ANO party headed by Andrei Babiš. He won with over 30% support, showcasing a Czech-first agenda. On World Talks, I'm joined by Rasťo Kužel, director of MEMO 98, to talk about what these results mean for the country and for the region, particularly for Moldova and the broader Eastern European neighbourhood. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us today.
Good evening and thank you for the invitation.
So, ANO, led by Andrei Babiš, emerged as the largest party, but without an outright majority per se. What kind of coalition configurations are most likely given the potential landscape of potential partners like the SPD, the motorists and others? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, I think it remains to be seen what the final coalition would look like. I think at this stage, it was a quite stunning victory for ANO. Perhaps I think the biggest surprise was the poor achievements, especially by the left-wing party Stačilo, which was basically a sort of grouping of former communists, and I think this is really a positive sign that this type of left extremism will not be presented in the next parliament. But when it comes to forming of the coalition, at this stage, I think most likely ANO and its leader Andrei Babiš is seeking a sort of minority government supported by SPD and by motorists for themselves. I think this would, in a way, give him a little bit more legitimacy, as he would not have to openly, nominate some of these members to the ministerial positions, as I think already President Pavel indicated that he may have some difficulty appointing some of these people to ministerial positions. So as we speak, the discussions are ongoing. I think we also already heard some stronger statements stated, for example, by SPD, that they are indeed looking to get some ministerial positions. But at this stage, I would really call it, horse trading, trying to get the best position for these type of negotiations. But yeah, I think we will probably have to wait a little bit until we see the final, Czech new government announced.
Sure. And during the campaign, and probably even more so now, there are questions about continued Czech military support and military aid for Ukraine. I wanted to ask your thoughts about that and perhaps the realistic process, what we might be able to expect in that context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think indeed this is a concern. To what extent Prague could actually dial down its strong support for Ukraine. It needs to be said that Czech Republic has been one of the strongest supporter of Ukraine. I mean, we heard on the news about the ammunition initiative, which was basically initiated by Czechia. So I personally expect that indeed this could be softened a little bit, but I at the same time do not expect some kind of radical reorientation. So I rather expect perhaps a softer tone, maybe fewer new initiatives. I think Andrei Babiš was clear during the campaign, that he was taking the approach, that Czechia first approach, which is similar to what we see, for example, in the United States with Donald Trump. So I expect that that this could happen, but at the same time, again, I expect that that the Babiš is much more pragmatic. So in that sense, I don't expect a radical shift, such as, for example, following or joining Hungary and Slovakia in their approach vis-a-vis Ukraine.
I wanted to ask about the Czech approach to foreign policy, and especially in the context of reaching out to countries like Moldova and Georgia. We see those protests now following the local elections. Do you think that Andrei Babiš might change his tone, like you mentioned, so perhaps no radical moves per se, but how influential do you think that the Czech Republic might be in shaping the European tone to countries like that?
I think it's a good question, and obviously it remains to be seen. I don't expect Czechia to be, let's say, in the mainstream. We know that ANO party left the Renew Europe group, and now it's with the Patriots. So that basically already is quite telling on its own. But again, I expect in terms of foreign policy, I don't expect some radical, shifts. It will be similar to the position I expect to the position in Ukraine. I think similarly there will be mostly like pragmatism when it comes to the situation in Georgia. I mean, with Moldova, we saw the party of Maia Sandu, the president, pass actually succeeding in getting another mandate. So basically able to sort of have absolute majority based on its result. So it has been able to preserve its pro-European orientation. So from that perspective, I think the situation is perhaps less complex than the situation in Georgia, where as we also saw on your news program, there are really protests against the recent local elections, and the situation is much more complex.
There have been some comments that the Czech Republic under Andrei Babiš might, in that pragmatic sense, might actually turn more pro-Moscow than pro-Europe. Have you heard anything like that? Do you have any comments in that regard?
I mean, I don't really expect that Babiš would like to be seen as a pariah in that sense. I think this is what I meant when I said that I don't believe that he would necessarily follow the example of Orban or Fico in that sense. I think again, like I take him mostly as businessman, who definitely would like to use this mandate, but he made it very clear, that under his government there will not be any sort of referendum on potentially exiting European Union or NATO. So, from that perspective, I don't expect that he would like to be seen as pro-Russian. And I don't think this would also go very well with the Czech society. I think he ran a very successful campaign, I would say, and during that campaign, I think ANO became a little bit more moderate to what it was saying. Especially like at the beginning, a few months before election. So, and I expect that sort of pragmatism will remain also with the government.
Okay, Rasťo Kužel, Director of MEMO 98. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And that was World Talks. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for more exclusive interviews on TVP World. Goodbye.